Hello, everybody. Welcome to the um, Loving Kindness class here at the Dharma Temple online version. My name is Alex. It is wonderful to be here with you today. And everything is wonderful. I hope you are wonderful too. And you're doing just fine. Um, you know, Last week when I was leading this class, I said I felt a little bit yucky. I mean, not COVID-y kind of yucky, but yucky. Um, and then the following day, Thursday and Friday, I had a sore throat. And Friday, I had to take those home tests you get from the government that you can get from the government website. Uh, I had ordered those. Those just happened to come in on Friday, and so I took one of those, and lo and behold, there you go. I had gotten it. I had COVID, and so I've actually been asymptomatic since Saturday, but I did take another test yesterday, and they just confirmed it that yep, COVID it is. Um, and the thing about that is, at my age, had I not been fully vaccinated and boosted, things could have gone a lot differently than just a minor sore throat. So I'm really, really, really grateful that the vaccine did its job. So, all right. Feeling good. I hope you all are doing well too. There's Brian and Linda saying hello. Hi, Brian and Linda. Hi, Jean. Hi, Linda Batty. And thank you for the condolences. That's okay. I'm doing good. Other than, what I had Friday and Saturday. So on the mend, I hope. The only thing that I don't like is that I kind of have to stay in, which I don't like at all, but that's okay. I am here. I am doing the loving kindness meditation, and we're going to have a good time tonight. All right. So, like I like to do at the beginning of every class, at the beginning, I type the message in the chat box that says, good evening, and say hello. I would love to hear from you. So thank you to the people who said hello. I really appreciate that. I'm just kind of trying to get a sense of, develop a sense of community, online, and want everyone to feel included in this class. I don't know who here might be new, but if you are new, just say hi. I would love to hear from you and welcome you. What we do in this class is just do a loving kindness meditation. The word that we're talking about when we talking about loving kindness is metta, METTA. And this word metta is a very old word from from many years ago. And when translated into English, this word can mean loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, goodwill, and it's simply a wish to be happy. A wish for us to be happy, a wish for others to be happy, and more importantly, a wish for ourselves and for others to do the things that cause happiness, right? And if you're wondering what causes happiness, then you just have to think about the motto of the Dharma Temple, which is think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. So those are the things in a nutshell that cause happiness. And so we want these things for ourselves. We want these things for others. And because these doing these good thoughts and words and actions, and what we mean by that, by skillful, well-intentioned thoughts, words, and actions, that is things that don't cause harm, right? So things that don't cause harm to yourself, that don't cause harm to others. And when you do those things, and when you learn to do those things and learn to do them more skillfully over time, you'll see that your loving kindness will never get in the way of somebody else's loving kindness. Because if somebody else, whether it's a benefactor or an enemy, is doing kind and skillful things and saying words and thoughts and actions, their loving kindness will never get in the way of your loving kindness, because they're not causing any harm. You're not causing any harm. You're only adding positivity. They're only adding positivity. They can never be in conflict, right? So that's what we mean by loving kindness. Hi, Cynthia. Hello. Wonderful to see you. I love you too. So what I would like to do is first, I would like to read the Metta Sutta. And the Metta Sutta is, or Sutra, is a sutra from, 2,500 years ago. These are the Buddha's words on loving kindness. I'd like to read them now. And it says, "This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. And I love reading that. I don't read that every week, but I love it when I do because I just get so much out of it every time that I read it. And so these are the Buddha's words on loving kindness, and he's telling us that this is the sublime abiding. And it says, by not holding to fixed view, the pure-hearted one having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. So what he's saying is that this practice can lead to the end goal, right? Not being born again into this world, which just means you're breaking the chain of birth and death, of reincarnation, time after time after time after time. And this practice can help lead to that. And I like when the Buddha kind of makes a promise to us that says, hey, if you do this, this leads to happiness. This goes somewhere. You're not doing it just to do it. And so I every time I read this, I like to focus on like another part of the another part of the sutra, just to kind of talk about a little bit. And I like that. And I like that all of these teachings have the end goal in mind. It could be the Metta Sutta, it could be some other sutra, it could be any of the Buddhist teachings. It's said that in Buddhism, in the Buddhist teachings, there are 84,000 teachings, right? 84,000 teachings about one topic, suffering at its end. So in all of the sutras, he's like describing suffering, some way that people suffer, and how to end that suffering. And so this is what he's talking about, in a way, with loving kindness, I should say. This is what he's talking about with loving kindness, about, this is how you do it. This is how you should think about it. And this is what it leads to, right? The end goal. And it's the same with really any other teaching, because nothing else really matters in Buddhism. The secrets of the universe, as it were, none of those mean anything. They don't mean anything. They don't matter, I should say. They don't matter because they don't lead to the end goal, right? When the Buddha became enlightened, um, he was talking with some of his monks, and he was asking one of his monks. He said, well, he picked up this handful of leaves, and he asked the monk, and he said, "Monk, tell me what is more, this handful of leaves, or all of the leaves in the forest?" And the monk says, "Well, of course, all of the leaves in the forest are greater." And the Buddha goes, "Correct. When I became enlightened, when I penetrated the deathless, uh, I understood all of the things in the universe, all of the things in the forest, all of the leaves of the forest. But I only teach this handful of leaves. Why do I only teach this handful of leaves? Because it's the only thing that matters. Because it's the thing that leads to the end goal. It leads to nirvana. It leads to the end of suffering, the end of strife, the end of conflict. It leads to the ultimate peace. So this is the only thing that I teach, because this is the only thing that matters." And I always think about that when I hear about like other spiritual practices from other traditions or anything like that might seem interesting and fun and to kind of look at. Like, oh yeah, they don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not bad to kind of take a look at them or anything like that. Of course not. I mean, if it piques your interest, absolutely go take a look at it. But always ask yourself, does this lead to the end of suffering? If it does, then great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. All right. So it didn't really look like there were any people here that were new, and that's okay. So I'll dispense with some things I would normally say, and we can just get down to the meditation. But before we get there, I kind of want to open it up just for maybe 2 minutes. If somebody has something that you would like to say, if you want to let me know how you're doing, great or not so great. How are things going for you? I mean, whatever you want, like any questions or anything like that. I know that there is about like a 10-second delay, 15-second delay, something like that, between from when you hear me and or when I'm talking and you could actually hear me. So I understand that. So I'm just going to just kind of hang out just for the next 60 seconds. And if you want to ask something or let me know how you're doing, I would love to hear from you. Hi, Tamara. I was also thinking, while we wait, I talk sometimes about TikTok, and there's not much, looking at TikTok, which I like. There isn't much on there with regards to Buddhism and meditation. There is one monk that I didn't find him. A friend actually sent his video to me, and he's a Buddhist monk, and he does meditation practice, and looks great. But he doesn't really guide the meditation. And so I was thinking, well, maybe this is a good thing, or a good opportunity for me to just kind of like step in and go do that. It's a kids app, but I'm finding that more and more people, a little bit older people, actually will kind of use it. So I was kind of thinking about doing that. And so if you're using that, if that's something you'd be interested in, content you'd be interested in seeing, and let me know. Oh, Cynthia, thank you so much for your message. I'm sorry for your husband's cancer journey here. I know it could be really, really difficult, and really, my heart is with you, and I wish all the best for you and your husband. And I know it's really, really hard, and hopefully, we will be back soon to hugging and getting together. I am a hugger, so yeah, I would love that. And thank you again. Thank you again so much. All right, so let's go do this meditation thing, huh? So go ahead and get into your seated position. If you need to take a sip of water, take a sip of water. All right, guys. So let's begin. All right. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that position that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable, so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment, ready for the day's abiding, this sublime abiding that the Sutra was talking about. And let's just get connected to the breath first and foremost. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Not forcing it, letting the breath at first be quite easy and quite natural. And just focusing on the breath at the base of the nostrils here, just feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. Or you can even focus on the belly or the chest, feeling its expansion and contraction as you breathe. So let's take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Just following the breath is really, really important. It keeps us anchored to the present moment. The breath is our anchor. The breath is our home. That place we can always come back to, whether we're sitting here in meditation or experiencing our day. It is always with us. It is always available so that we can center ourselves. Just for the next couple of moments, let's just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. So, to begin our practice of loving kindness, we're first going to call to mind a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love or great kindness. Someone it's really easy to have these feelings for, someone where you've already benefited from their love and kindness. And so you understand that wonderful feeling in your heart from their actions towards you. So just call them to mind. And we're just going to radiate loving kindness to this person. And however you understand that word radiate, wishing them happiness, wishing that they do the things that cause happiness. Maybe putting your hand over your heart and smiling, because smiling always helps kind of get yourself in the mood. And your benefactor could be, anyone, living or not living, it doesn't matter. You can have more than one. So just wishing them love, wishing them happiness, wishing them the causes of happiness, that they do the things that cause happiness. And so we'll do this for the next few moments, loving kindness for our benefactor. And shifting our focus just a little bit now from doing this practice for our benefactor to now imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. And again, we've already experienced this love and kindness from our benefactor, and you can use the same one or a different benefactor, it doesn't matter. And just imagine them smiling down at you, and they're doing this practice for you, wishing you happiness and radiating loving kindness from their heart to yours. And the only thing that you have to do is just receive all of their loving kindness. Just take it all in. And it's helpful to put your hand over your heart sometimes and just listening for those areas of tension and tightness that might occur, that part of your heart that might say, I can't take all of this. I don't deserve this. I can't. If you feel that, it's okay. You don't have to try to change it, but can you just take a deep breath in and direct some energy to that tightness to maybe give it a little space. Just give it space. And smile. It's always so helpful. And just take in all of their loving kindness. And so we'll do this for the next few moments. Now, for probably the most important part of this meditation, can we now have loving kindness for ourselves? So let's just call to mind your own wish to be happy, your own wish to be safe, free from danger. Thinking about all of the ways that you do things and say things and think things that run counter to that, that don't contribute to your happiness at all. So we can think about all that, a little bit about that conditioning, and now just counter that by awakening the natural potential of the heart to have loving kindness for yourself. Just by gently calling to your heart, wishing yourself happiness, wishing that you do the things that cause happiness. It might be helpful here just to repeat phrases of loving kindness for yourself. Phrases like, may I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. May I do the things that cause happiness. My positive and well intentions, thoughts, actions, and words. May those lead to my happiness. Smiling really helps still. You can keep your hand over your heart if you want. And we'll do this for the next few moments. And finally, we can explore the limitless potential of the heart by doing this practice for all beings in all directions, whatever living beings there may be, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, may all beings be at ease. You can start small and gradually get wider, or just throw it out there, just radiate loving kindness to all beings in all directions. However you want to do it is fine. And so we'll do that to finish our practice. Loving kindness for all beings. So just open your eyes when you're ready. And just for the next couple of minutes, let's take that in silence as we stretch our arms and stretch our legs, keeping that, mindfulness of loving kindness about us as much as we can. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the meditation, your experience of meditation, I would love to hear it. Just type your question in, or whatever you're feeling in the box, and we'll go ahead and talk about that afterwards. So we'll just take out the next probably 45 seconds, and we'll go ahead and do that. Again, any questions, comments, concerns? Love to hear it. Love to talk about it with you. Nothing yet, but that's okay. And again, you can type in anything at any time. That's okay. So you can say anything about. Tamara says, I watched the funeral for Thich Nhat Hanh and found it beautiful. I didn't get a chance to see that. Hopefully it's on I'll be able to get to see it on a replay. I know that his website, which I subscribe to, like every day had something else to say, like for 8 days. And, it's always something very, very beautiful. And he had this wonderful message and a wonderful ability to relay the Buddha's teachings in a way that we could get, in a way that was very kind, in a way that was very gentle, and it was just unbelievably skillful, and which is what I admire about it the most. I didn't really get it, when I went to go see him early in my Buddhist career, as it would. I think this was around 2010, maybe something like that, or maybe earlier. I can't even remember. It was so long ago, and I didn't quite get it then because I was relatively new, I just couldn't quite grasp it yet, I should say. But I certainly do now, and it's he's just incredibly skillful, and one of the major Buddhist teachers of our time, of many generations, and hopefully his teachings and the way his style will live on, and he will continue that way, because as it says, he continues. And we'll kind of wait a little bit. Something struck me a little bit. A kind of way to look at the world and to see some parallels between now and even the Buddha's time. During the Buddha's time, 2,500 years ago, it was kind of like a spiritual renaissance in India at the time, meaning that people were really, really frustrated with the religion at a time. It had gotten quite corrupted. It was only available to certain people. They Certain people couldn't do spiritual practice. The Vedic ascetics at the time, the Vedic priests at the time, the whole Brahmin caste, they would charge exorbitant amounts of money and resources for various rituals like planting festivals and things like that. And we have several examples during the Buddhist time where the Vedic ascetics and the Vedic priests would say, "Oh, you want this ritual? It's going to cost you all of these things." And it almost seemed like they loved it when misfortune happened, and they relied on the priests to do some sort of ritual or cleansing or something like that, because they could just charge them a whole lot of money and resources. They want all sorts of sacrifices, even human sacrifices sometimes, which they did. And so people were getting really, really frustrated. And so they went out into the forest and they just kind of did their own thing. And it was at this time that, the Buddha was born, and he was able to find various teachers in the forest, because again, India, people were rebelling against the kind of established kind of religion at the time and kind of doing their own thing and trying to find, the end goal and find enlightenment and, find the end of suffering and all of these different types of things. I find that there's a parallel now. If you look at it, there are so many people doing so many different things. It's just wild. I mean, even like a few years ago, not a few years ago, a few decades ago, let's say in this country, there was like essentially just kind of one general religion with with many different sects. And, people are starting to just say, hey, this is getting corrupted, and this is not for me. And I need to go find something else. I need to find somewhere else that where I can find community, where I can find belonging, which is the general purpose of a religion, to find community and belonging. Because whatever religion I was practicing just isn't doing it for me right now. And so it seems to be, to me, we're in kind of a similar time. And it's a really exciting time. I know there's a lot of horrible things going on. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And even if we were in the middle of a pandemic, there would be a lot of difficult times going on, right? And so we know that, and I know that. And there are a lot of difficult times going on. But this kind of breaking away from a lot of established kind of religion that isn't serving us, that makes it, to me, an exciting time just to kind of explore and to see what's out there. It's the reason I just said, when I was in like recovery, and it was, the AA is very, they could get very kind of religiously focused and Christian focused, and that just wasn't for me. And I didn't bash it. It just said, hey, this is not for me. And so I just was looking for other things. And in the process of looking for other things, I eventually came upon Buddhism, but not before after trying like several different other things, because I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know anything, and it was just, I don't know, to me, or for me, it was just a really exciting time just to go and search and find something. And eventually I found something that I think is going to work for me, and I certainly know it works for me now. That's for sure. I wouldn't be leading this class. So Griffin says, hey, everybody, thanks so much. I've been trying to help my friend who's been going through a schizophrenic break, and it's been trying, but I keep finding coming back to my center helps me so much. And, thank you, Graham. One of the things that COVID has done is sometimes like exacerbated a lot of mental illness, issues. Certainly is for me. I have, I take, medication for a variety of mental things going on. But that's gotten better over the years for sure. And you're such a good friend for doing that. I appreciate that. Definitely. We all need friends like you in our life that'll help us through this kind of thing. I was going to say something else, but then I just totally lost it. One of the things that I saw, I think, on the news was that, one of the side effects of COVID is sometimes getting like really, really forgetful. But that's also a side effect of quarantine, just being really, really forgetful. And it's one of the things that I found being in isolation so much is that I have become somewhat forgetful. I'm kind of flighty sometimes anyway, but even more than normal. And like I remember, I forgot an entire. I work at home, so I just forgot an entire like meeting I was supposed to go to. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm just going to go get coffee. I went and got coffee, and I sat in a coffee shop, and I just hung out for just a little bit of time. And I'm on my way back, and then I remember I was on my way back, and I logged back into my computer, and it was like, you missed the meeting, and it was like a customer. It was a customer meeting that I had to give a software demo for. They were pissed, and rightly so. I just absolutely spaced. And yeah, that wasn't fun, but it can happen. And so we all need to be as mindful as possible because of that. And so kind of what I was talking about before, about, we're kind of finding out a lot about, we're trying a lot of new things, and there are a lot of people who are, it's called like deconstruction. They're kind of deconstructing what they were taught. Maybe they were in a cult, maybe they were in a religion that they were, that is no longer serving them, and they have a lot of trauma from that. And so this process of deconstruction that's going on is this process, and a very painful process, but ultimately rewarding, of just kind of unlearning all of those different types of things. And even the Buddhist practice is a form of deconstruction, just because we're trying to kind of unlearn all of our natural tendencies that do nothing but cause us suffering. And it is painful, and but it could be so rewarding at the end. And this practice of loving kindness can really, really help with that. Because when you're doing all these different types of things, and deconstruction, you get to bring up a lot of painful memories and a lot of trauma, and all of these different types of things. So in addition to therapy, which I always recommend, especially finding a trauma-informed therapist if you're kind of dealing with that, because they just have some different types of things that they could do that focuses on trauma that regular talk therapy just can't get to. Like EMDR and things like that. And so, but at the end of that, it's so as difficult as it is, it's incredibly rewarding at the end. So don't be scared if you find yourself in that kind of process. It's wonderful, and we do that in Buddhism. We deconstruct all the time. We deconstruct all of our unskillful actions and thoughts and words, and we construct new ones that cause happiness. And isn't that what everybody wants? All right, so I'll wait just 30 seconds more if anyone has anything else. And we'll go. Well, okay, that's all right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Again, this is the Dharma Bum Temple online class, and we're here like every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we'll continue to be here. We're online now. Hopefully we'll go back to in-person classes when it's safe for us to do so. Don't know when that time is quite yet, but we'll get there eventually. We just want to make sure that everybody is safe as humanly possible. And that's that. Thank you, Jean. And thank you, Brian and Linda. Thank you, Tamara. Let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefit of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. And may all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.